Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special big up shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay-at-home moms and pops, my retirees. Shout out to the drivers. Shout out to the Uber driver, Lyft driver, truck driver, taxi driver, food delivery drivers, round town and long distance truck drivers. Shout out to the crossing guards and the school teachers. Shout out to law enforcement personnel, medical field personnel, military personnel. Whatever your job description is, shout out to you. Shout out to the barbers in the barbershops. Shout out to the beauticians in the beauty salons, the hairdressers, the nail techs. Shout out to the AC techs. Shout out to the heavy equipment operators, the construction workers, the child care providers. Whatever it is you do, shout out to you. Man, shout out the girl them around the back road. Yeah, shout out to every single clean-hearted, good-hearted person who wants good for others as much as you want good for yourself. Don't let that part go over your head. If you want good for others the same way you want good for yourself, then you are a good person. Shout out to you. If you're not that kind of person, then you need to become that kind of person. Want good for others as much as them want good for you. You know what I mean? You know why I always say shout out to certain people? Like, for instance, people might think I just do this randomly, right? Shout out to the people who want good for others as much as they want good for themselves. I want you to really think about that. Really think about that. That's a special character to have. A part of your makeup, your character, to want good for others. Because most people, they want good for you, but they don't really want good for you. Or they want good for you, but they want more good for themselves than they do for you. I want to see him get big, man. I want to see him do the thing, I want to see him be successful. But then when you start to be really successful beyond what their limit is, then they start become jealous, or they start to withdraw their support from you. You see, from you know, say you is not one of them kind of people there. You see, from you know, say you want the world of success for everybody. Then that's why I say that. Another one, when you hear me say shout out to the people who work multiple jobs, I have the utmost respect for you. That's because we are coming from struggle ourselves. And me watch my mom work 3 jobs. 3! My mama used to work 3 jobs. This woman literally used to work. She had her 9 to 5. And then she had a weekend job. And then she had a nighttime job with her daytime 9 to 5. So she, Monday to Friday, she had 9 to 5. And then she would get off of that 9 to 5 and go work till midnight at another job. From 5 in the afternoon till midnight. She would leave 4 p.m. from her other job and work from 5 till midnight at her other job. And then on the weekend now, she was off from both those daytime 9 to 5s. And she would pick up a Friday evening, late evening, all the way back to Monday morning. You don't know them thing they go already, they live in something. Yeah. So I watched her do that. And then I told myself I would never do that. And I ended up having to do it. So I myself did it, but I did it for like 3 years. And then on the 4th year, I was ready to branch off into something better because I had already lined up my ducks in a row. You know what I'm saying? You have to line up your ducks in a row, my friend, and make sure, say, that's not what you're going to do permanently, because that is scarring. Alright, so shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I hope you have a plan. Don't just go work because somebody says, so Flo, y'all talk about big up people when we work multiple jobs. That's slavery that. I kill you, encourage the people them to kill off themselves. Okay, let me clarify that. When you are working multiple jobs, you see, it simply says you prefer to work than to go commit crime and get money. Because when you commit crime, you know, you have to paro. You have to look over your shoulder. You have to wonder when you're going to be found out. You have to wonder who want to kill you for what you have. You have to wonder when police are come pick you up. You have to wonder all kind of something. It's a para life. So me, you know, me would have rather work 2-3 jobs before me live that kind of life, because I'll be tired as hell. But my little checks will be in my bank account. My little bills them sort out. And I got so tired that I'm going to sleep in a deep sleep every time I lay down for sleep and get some good rest. Instead of up all night I worried about what I go wrong next, and if me I go to prison and I have to run from here to there and hide from this one and tell lie to that one. See? So shout out to the people them who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Coming from a place where I know what it feels like to do that, to have to do that. Not to do it for fun, because nobody does that for fun. It's to have to do that. My story is I used to work 2 jobs. One of my job started at 2 in the afternoon, 2 till 10, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. My next job now started at 11 back to 7 a.m. at night time, you know. So I go from 2 to 10, almost midnight, and then I had between that 1 hour to get to my other job, drive cross town, clock in, 11 p.m. back to 7 a.m. in the morning again. May I tell you, say, when we did do that, when I did that, I used to walk around sleeping. My family back then my family wasn't even big, right? Just me and the woman I was with at the time, and we were about to have our first child together. So it wasn't like me to have, I've grown, you know, tremendously since then. I have 7 children now, well 6, 1 on the way. So that's to tell you how far back this has been. But I've been there, and I'll never forget the struggle. So while we were doing that, even when she was like, come on, let's go out to eat this evening, I would say, you have to drive, because if I drive, I'm going to fall asleep on driving to get to where we're going to go eat. And I would literally be eating and fall asleep in a restaurant like this while me I eat. She have to touch me and say, hey, all right, let's take the food home. Let's go home. Because that's how much it wears on your body. So my advice to the people who are working these 2-3 jobs, don't do it forever. Have a plan, okay? Stick to your plan. My plan was to save as much money as I can. And then when I did that, I had enough money saved up where I could pay all my bills for a lengthy period of time while I was going back to school. So I went to Kaiser University, I did my program there, I graduated, I have a degree assigned. When I brag and show off for nobody about no degree, because a lot of people have degrees and them can't maintain the degree. You know what I'm saying? But we have one too. So with that said, I'm telling the people them who are doing this kind of thing, you're working yourself to death, you're having 3 jobs and these things. I understand what you're doing, but don't make it something where you're constantly doing that, because you are a human being and your body needs rest. A lot of people who do this, they eventually end up having a stroke or a heart attack somewhere down the road. Your body literally needs to be reset every 24-hour period. And if your body does not reset, that's why God gave us night and day. When you see it start get dark outside, don't you notice that you start to feel down, like tired, like I want to lay down, it get late. Even for those of us who like to go out and party late night. You know, say you have to have 2 drinks and bun a spliff and do something to stay up and get like in the mood and enjoy the party and stuff, because you're supposed to lay on your bed. And when your body is telling you, please lay down, find one pillow and one blanket and lay down on the soft bed, make we go sleep a little bit, you are talking about me one day a road. So those people who are partying like that, not partying like that, sorry, those people who are working like that from one job to the next job to the next job, like I was doing, it only lasts so long. And if you really, truly care about yourself, and I understand that everybody's life not set up the same, because some people can get to it, other people don't have a choice. Please make it so that you have a choice, all right? Make it so you have a choice. Save your money, find a program, increase your education, all these other kind of things, and then get to a better place. Scale down your 3 job to 2 jobs, and then scale down the 2 job thing to 1 job. If you have a job during the week and then you want to pick up something for fun during the weekend, that's fine. But don't make it so that 10 years down the road, 15 years down the road, you're still working, running between 2 and 3 jobs because you have to. Don't set your life like that, because you're going to hurt yourself in the long run. There's a couple of people I've known over the years, but there's one particular person that we knew here who worked super hard. She was one of those people who had 2 and 3 jobs at all times. This woman never have no social life, okay? She just walk, come a foreign, walk out her soul case. She built her dream house in Jamaica. And when I tell you a beautiful house, I'm talking one of those houses where you would think you would have to hit the lotto just to be able to afford that house. And she used to brag about it because she would go home every now and then and she would make sure the construction is right. She wasn't one of those people who got robbed and went home and the family members built a shack instead of build her nice house. She got her nice house. She got her land. She have her property. She have her thing wall off and look beautiful. Well, I believe it was a day, 2 days, a couple of days. I don't want to lie. I don't remember how many days. But a couple of days before she flew out to Jamaica, she had, was it a massive stroke? She had a massive stroke. Ended up in the hospital here. And then she passed away after. So sometimes the stroke leave you debilitated or one side of your body don't work anymore. But sometimes a stroke will kill you. In her case, she was debilitated. She couldn't talk. She couldn't see out of one eye. A bunch of stuff happened to her. And then down the line, before she could be lucky enough to get out of that state and get into rehab and then go home, she passed away. I'm talking about days before she was supposed to leave the US. She said she done. I've worked hard. I've built my dream life back home. I'm heading to it to live out the rest of my days. And she did not make it. So please, if you're doing these multiple jobs, please take care of yourself. Please take care of yourself. Go see a dentist. Clean your teeth them. These kind of things. Go get an annual. Or if some of you are past a certain age, go get 2 checkups for the year. Check everything that's going on inside of you. You know, make sure your heart's working right. Make sure your liver and your kidneys functioning properly. Make sure your whole body is in tune first. It's like a car. You can't just take up the car and just drive it long distance every day. So I'm here, I'm there, 100 miles that way, 50 miles this way, 20 miles that way. You're doing that 6-7 days a week. The car tires are burning down. You're going to have to replace them, put on 4 new tires soon. Your engine need tune up, right? Don't you notice so when you start the car now it don't? Yeah, just remember you're not a machine. You know, the same way your vehicle needs to be maintained, it's the same way you as a person need to maintain yourself. So today I'm actually going off to a dental appointment, right? Remember me telling about your teeth? One time I was in Jamaica. I took a trip to Jamaica on one of these many trips that I go to Jamaica on, and I was among people who were my age group, people who we grew up together, right? And I noticed how, like, among them age group there, people look different. So I was among some people who, this guy I didn't grow up with him, but I remember noticing that we're about the same age group. Come I ask him age, him tell him age. And I said, can I ask you something about your teeth them? Him say, yeah. I say, the dentist pulled them out? Because most of his teeth were missing. I said, did the dentist pull out your teeth? Or how them come out? And him said, well, I tell you the truth, you know, you go sleep and you wake up in the morning with teeth in your mouth. I was like, what the fuck? I looked at Shakira, I was like, I will make sure this never happens to me. The man said you go sleep and you wake up with teeth in your mouth. Like your teeth them fall out and just sitting there in your mouth. You get up and spit out teeth. And it happened over and over till, you know, you get used to it. So when me tell you say he's lost multiple teeth, he's lost multiple. So I came back to the US and I asked my dentist, I said, what would cause that to happen? The dentist said one of the things that would cause that to happen is, do you remember when you're young and you had like, oh, my wisdom teeth, they're acting up. Go to the dentist. Please pull these out. And the dentist pulled them out. You thought, cool. You have a cavity somewhere around here. You're like, pull that out. And the dentist pull it out. And you thought, cool. This tooth right here is hurting. Pull that out. The dentist pull it out. And you thought, cool. So you're losing teeth, right? And you're not paying attention to it. And because when you smile, they don't show the missing teeth because they're not, the missing teeth is in the back somewhere. You don't really care about it, right? Well, it's been affecting you the whole time, but it will soon really show. Here's how. Every one of the human teeth need each other to stand straight up. So if you pull out, if the dentist pull out this one right here, there's a space left right there, right? Right. See that space there? Once that space is there, your jawbone right here will start to lose bone structure. Now, as it loses bone structure, this will start to sink in this empty space. You see, as this sinks in the empty space, this tooth right here and this tooth right here that were both dependent on this missing tooth right here, that's no longer there, to keep it, all of them standing straight up, they will now start to move in so towards the closed space, towards the empty space that's there. Now, when that happens, these are getting weaker at the root. It's like rooting up a tree sideways. And you start pop out the roots, pop out the roots, pop out the roots until, boom, the tree is all the way out at the root. And that's what will happen to these teeth. Yes, sir. And this is how people wake up in the morning and they'll find this one in their mouth first. And now, when they wake up in the morning, they find this one in their mouth first. Now you have a bigger gap. Now, because now you're missing two. And now your jawbone is sinking even more right here. It changes the whole structure of how your face look. Have you ever met people who you're like, man, I grew up with that person. Him looks so different. Him looks so different because he's lost a lot of his teeth from the back. And it's reshaped the entire jawbone, which reshapes the structure of the person's face, which reshapes actually how you actually look. See? So when you have two missing now, big space right there, so these will come out even easier because they have even more space to bend into the blank space right here. And the roots will dig up and the tooth will come out. So now you end up with this one and that will do the same thing. And you just end up losing like that. What you were supposed to do, which I did not know, come and have two missing. One right here, one right here. That's it. But I can already see one of these leaning towards the blank space. And I can already see on this side how this part sunk in, right? I don't want my facial structure to change. And I also do not want a concave jawline. And I don't want my teeth them start drop out and fold into the blank space and drop out. So what you're supposed to do is when you missing one, you're supposed to get an implant. Not a bridge, because a bridge, you can go ask your dentist this, a bridge will not save your jawline. A bridge will not save your jawline. A bridge is only there to look pretty. Your jawline underneath it is still fading away. You need an implant so that your body will react to the implant. Your body will say, oh, there's a tooth right here. So let's grow roots around that one and keep it like one of our own. So now you have one back in there and you're good to go again, right? So that's what I'm doing. I'm getting assessed for implant, and I'll be doing 2 implants. I'm telling you already, you know, if God make me live till me old, me I gonna be one old hot boy. Yeah, cause none of my teeth them now take out and put in a glass on the side of the bed like I used to see Miss Ruby and Miss Clevey, which is my grandparents. I used to see them do. They had to take, but they're old school and that's long ago. And we live in a different generation. They used to have to take out their teeth at nighttime, put it in a cup with some kind of solution in it, and go to sleep with no teeth. Mouth look like this. And then when they wake up in the morning, them shake it off and pop them back in. Then their face go back to normal. You know, I don't want to do that. So I implant my teeth them so that the teeth them don't drop out. This is just taking care of yourself. All right. Enough about you taking care of yourself. We got some other things we want to talk about this morning. One more topic, because this video is not supposed to be long. On purpose, because I do have an appointment today. And I have to get to that appointment, and the appointment is 1 hour and 30 minutes drive away from my house. Right? All right. So another thing that I want to talk about this morning is run with gone left your yard. You see, there are a lot of you Jamaicans out here who really, and people from other places who really have bought into this American dream thing. My disclaimer, I love the United States of America. I came here as a small child. Looking back now, I can say I've spent most years of my life in the US compared to the years I would have spent in Jamaica in comparison, right? Which means I've been in the US longer than I've been in Jamaica, even though I'm a Jamaican. A lot of people who run into me say, damn, SoFlo, I thought you were like born and raised in Jamaica and you came to the US when you were an adult. Because you talk like it, you sound like it, you know, you're so into the culture and everything like that. You see how I'm able to switch it? And I'm like, nah, I just stay. They're like, how are you like that? I said, because I just stay entrenched in my culture. Now, I must tell my audience this. I have always had a great fear of being deported ever since I was really young. Ever since I was really young, I had a great fear of being, because I always told myself that whatever is given to you can be taken away from you. What if the US government wakes up one day and says, we don't want you here anymore, specifically, you have to go. And they come up with some kind of charge or it's something that you can't defend yourself against, right? Out the window you go. There you go, you're back to where you came from. That's why I'm not throwing no stone behind me. I'm not involved in criminality. I am a law-abiding tax-paying citizen. I'm raising children who are also law-abiding tax-paying or will be. And, you know, I'm not in on the wrong side of the law or anything like that. But we still see where it could happen. This story right here is a perfect example. So, and I must tell you, it doesn't matter how long you served in the military here. It doesn't matter, because I've seen them deport people who are actually combat war veterans. It doesn't matter if you own house and land here or anything like that. They'll be even more glad to deport you. You know why? Who do you think gets your house if you're deported? If you own a house, who do you think gets? Some people are under the perception that if they own a house, they can't be deported. Okay. If you're collecting benefits, like you have earned benefits and you're a more seasoned adult, then you're at that stage in life where you've earned benefits and you have passive income coming in, checks. They're more than glad to get rid of you, because they don't have to pay those checks anymore, especially if it's off government money, because you had a government job for how many years that you retired from, whether it's military or anything like that. Your house, your pension, your everything. You don't get to take those with you when you are deported. You gone left them. And the money goes right back into, okay, listen, I'm checking this story out, and I said, damn, I got to show y'all this story. A detained Georgia veteran deserves to stay in the U.S. after serving his country, his fiancée says. I took one look at this brother, and I said to myself, this is a Jamaican man. Now, mind you, I've always told my audience this. I said, I can pick out a Jamaican anywhere. If you're not Jamaican when I pick you out, the crowd, you're from the Caribbean somewhere. Because we have a distinct type of flavor that's hard to explain to anybody else. It's even in the way we walk, the way we stand when we're not moving, and our facial expressions without me hearing the words you're saying. So I picked this brother out and I said, let me see the story real quick, because I'm pretty sure this is a Jamaican. And lo and behold, it is a Jamaican. So listen to the story. It says, the fiancé of a Jamaican-born, decorated U.S. Army veteran who is now facing deportation under the Donald Trump administration says that she hopes that his story might inspire legislative actions to restore immigration protection for former military members. I can tell her right now, say, it not gonna happen. His story ain't gonna do that. Wade, who is a grandfather and a U.S. Army veteran, he was arrested for driving without a license in September. That's it. He was driving without a license, and he was taken into custody by ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, the federal agency tasked with carrying out the president's mass deportation program, according to local outlet KENS 5, as they reported that he was seen driving without a driver's license. Y'all remember when driving without a driver's license didn't get you deported, or driving on a suspended license didn't get you deported? I know a lot of people who are here on green cards and them get traffic infractions. It didn't lead to their deportation. Things have changed. The list of deportable offenses has gotten way longer. And I've said that to y'all before over and over again. Ever since the Trump administration restarted and he came back to office, we've been following closely the different changes to U.S. immigration. That's why you see on the channel all these U.S. immigration update videos. Like for instance, yesterday we posted one that says that the spouses, husbands and wives of American citizens must now say bye to their family, their husband, their spouse and their children, because a lot of them in recent days have gotten arrested and brought into ICE custody simply because, well, not simply because, but they just did their last interview. This is the last interview before they will get their green card. And somebody thought it was cool to say, wait till they do the last interview, detain them, send them back to their country, and let them wait there for the decision. It's happening right now. So people who thought they were safe all along, oh, I'm married to a citizen and I've been here all along. And even though ICE been arresting people and picking up people and deporting them or locking them up, they still haven't gotten us yet. And guess what? They're getting them now. So yeah, we do all the updates, okay? Wade's case is emblematic of a rising number of non-U.S. citizen military veterans who have been swept up under Donald Trump's immigration policies. And the Biden administration had previously issued an ICE directive that helped to protect non-citizen veterans, and also issued an executive order and later created an initiative to help return deported veterans and their families. This is the Joe Biden that y'all, some of you thought it wasn't a good idea to vote for anymore and wanted something else. Under the Biden administration, he actually created a directive. That directive was to protect those who served in the U.S. military that were not American citizens. Contrary to popular belief, for a lot of you out there who are seeing this, there are lots of people in our military that are not American born. Of course, after a certain point, you're going to have to get your citizenship. It is required before you can serve how many years. But before that, you are able to serve the first couple of years without it, right? So we have soldiers, sailors, whatever, that they're not American, so to speak, okay? And Biden realized that that's so unfair. These people come here, they decide, I'll even go die for this country. Put me in uniform. I'll go through the training, I'll do this, that, and the other. And you deport them for like frivolous offenses. So he had put things in place to save those people specifically, looking out for the military family. Another thing that a lot of you don't know is 1% of the US population actually serves in the military. I know you see military people everywhere, or you think you do. And you think the military is so big, everybody must have served. 1% of the population of the US actually served in the military or serves in the military. So with that said, it's a population that the former president was trying to protect. But you know how politics goes. And he also created a program and executive order that was created to help to return those who were deported back to the United States of America. Under Donald Trump, though, everything that Biden did is becoming undone. So guess what? Out the door you go again. The Trump administration rescinded the ICE directive that Biden put in place after his second presidency began recently. Now, non-citizens are eligible to join the U.S. military, and Wade is now 65 years old. 65. My mama age. He's now 65 years old. He came to the U.S. from Jamaica when he was only 15 years old. I know a lot of people are going to say, so why didn't he become a citizen as soon as he turned 18? Well, all that is in hindsight. Just take the story for what it is and know that there are many other people who are on the same path and they probably will too end up in the same situation. So he is now 65. He came to the US from Jamaica at 15, and eventually he joined the army, and he earned commendation medals for wartime service as well as good conduct. He later received multiple college degrees after he got out the military, and he worked multiple jobs throughout his time in the US. He was actually working at a cafe when he was detained by ICE. Wade was being held inside of the Stewart Detention Center, which is an immigration jail in Lumpkin, Georgia. That's the facility that's one of the largest in the country, that is ran by a private prison company, Core Civic. For years, he has faced grave accusations of rights abuse, Stewart, including allegations of medical neglect. And there have also been a series of deaths at that facility. For years, that same facility has faced accusations of rights abuse, allegations of medical neglect, and also a series of deaths have happened at that facility where they have him at. One of the most recent deaths was actually someone taking themselves off the planet, and that was the third of such events that happened in recent times at that facility. In other words, he is somewhere where nobody would want to be, because things happen behind those walls that are not being explained, and people are going in and not coming out standing up. Wade has 6 children, and they have not been able to visit him as often as they would like. Just the process of being able to see their dad is very traumatic, not being able to see him, said one of Wade's daughters to the news media. He doesn't deserve this. What he's experiencing right now is something that he truly does not deserve. Wade's family has been seeking assistance with their legal fight against his deportation. They've even set up a GoFundMe. We are looking to minimize financial catastrophe during his absence, is what his family member says. Members of Congress have been requesting further information from the Trump administration about its targeting of non-citizen veterans for deportation. Members of Congress want to know, why are you doing this? Why is it the veterans that you're doing this to who are non-citizens? You know what's crazy? What's crazy is when I see people who have never served in this military, who they will look at his case and they will say, oh, he was driving without a license. Oh well, deport his ass. And I will ask them, have you ever served in the military here? Because this country is strong, because a lot of other countries around the world respect our military power. They fear us. So don't think it's because you're so nice that they love you. It's because our actions when it comes to we will fight kind of thing and our capabilities. So the people who make that, who hold up that face that they see, for whatever lack of better term, fear that we put in others, were you ever a part of any of that? And they goes, nah, I never served, but I'm just saying. You just saying what? You just saying what? So it's okay for people to come here, do what you never did or never thought of doing. Well, fuck, never thought of doing. You never did it. Okay? And now they're supposed to just get kicked out for some frivolous action with no recourse, no chance of making that right. Just kick them out, keep moving. That's not okay. That's not okay at all. So anyways, members of Congress have been requesting further information from the Trump administration about its targeting of non-citizen veterans for deportation. And in September, multiple House representatives launched a congressional investigation into the detention and the deportation of non-citizen veterans. Those members of Congress wrote a letter to top Department of Homeland Security officials demanding more information on the number of veterans that have been swept up by immigration agents since this administration came back to power. A congressional letter from June estimated that about 10,000 veterans or more have been deported. So please don't think that because you served, it's going to save you, because it's not. Over 10,000 have been deported so far. A 2022 report from the Migration Policy Institute said about 16 million US veterans were born in another country. Send this to all the patriotic American, this America, fuck immigrants kind of mindset. Y'all pardon my language. I'm just trying to keep it as raw as possible. Send this to them. Over 16 million US military veterans were born in another country. Okay? Now, with that said, this guy right here, he's probably going to be deported. I hope not. I didn't realize that in Jamaica they actually did a story on him, and we're going to take from that the story that was done on him in Jamaica right now. So this is what it said in Jamaica media about him. It said that the relatives of 65-year-old Army veteran Godfrey Wade, they're fighting desperately to stop his deportation back to Jamaica as he remains detained in an Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, facility in Georgia. More than 70 days have passed. So at this point right here, this story was published in the Jamaica Gleaner on November 26th. Today is December 8th. So at this point, it said that 70 days have passed. Well, add another 10 at this point. More than 80 days have passed since the routine traffic stop that he was found to be driving without proper paperwork spiraled into his arrest, leaving the elderly veteran behind bars and his family consumed with worry. Now, over the past 5 decades, he built a life deeply intertwined with American culture. That's why I'm telling us if you go home on the yard. Yes, we have built a life deeply intertwined with American culture, but you need to also be not putting all your eggs in one basket. That's why I'm doing this video. That's because that's the only way you can help yourself, right? There are some of us who are so set up and we're so okay on the other side in our birth country, even if we came here as children, that if they come today and they're like, leave everything, get the fuck out of our country now. Yeah, we'll shed a tear because we're leaving behind some stuff we've built and invested in, and all our children were born here and all that. But on the other side of that, we're not going to be like, oh, my life is over. Oh, my God, what am I going to do? Because we're good on the other side. We never throw a stone behind where we never forget where we come from. So we're going to be good on the other side. And we won't land in Jamaica trying to figure out, what are they saying? I don't really speak like they do, so I don't understand what they're saying. You know what I mean? We're going to drop on the ground soon as we reach, boots on the ground, and you know what, we'll go on charge. Yeah, man, everything good, man. The matter of fact, we won't be even afraid to talk. Boy, them fling me out from upside, you know, so you don't know that go already. Yeah, back in my place, you know. I figure make something happen here so for myself still. You know we stay already. Yeah, our spirit, indomitable. We're not lay down, you know what I say? Yeah. All right, and we just keep going. A lot of who is planning to stay here forever can't do that. They arrive and they're like fish out of water. They don't understand how anything is set up. They don't understand how anything is ran. They don't know the first place to go. They don't even have relatives that they're in contact with anymore. Your bloodline didn't die out. They're still there. You just lost touch with. Like the last person you know was grandma. And she was raising you. And you left Jamaica at 10. And grandma passed away like the last 10 years ago. But you've been in the U.S. for the last 40 years. And you never stayed in touch with the rest of your family. So now when you land in the country, nobody knows you. You don't even know who to reach out to. Go and reconnect yourself. I keep telling y'all this. Go and reconnect yourself. And it doesn't matter what government is in power. Because a lot of you will tell yourself this. Oh, when the Trump administration is no longer here, everything is going to be reversed. But what if you get somebody right after that is exactly like what he's doing? And what if even you get a break, but 4 years down the road, after that person serves one term, somebody comes back in who is exactly what he is and is doing exactly what he does. You're back in the same worry again. The only way you will get a peace of mind, people, is if you know for sure you're good on the other side. Then we're like, well, do what you have to do. Do what you have to do. You know what I mean? I don't want to do it, but if that's what you feel like you need to do, then hey, let it be that. We'll be all right. This guy won't be all right. Wade reportedly migrated to the United States of America back in 1975. This is before I was born. Damn. My kids call me old now. And he been here before I was born. He arrived with his mother, and he arrived legally on a green card. So over the past 5 decades, he built a deeply intertwined life that is intertwined with American society, and he raised 6 children, helping each of them to pursue higher education. And he has been a present figure in the lives of his grandchildren as well. His daughter, Christian, described him as a devoted father and grandfather who spent weekends playing tennis with the family and encouraging his children and his grandchildren to use that sport as a tool of empowerment. He served in the U.S. Army deployment. He deployed to 4 continents over his 8 years that he served, the majority of which saw him being stationed in Germany. I was stationed in Germany as well. Beautiful, beautiful experience. He worked as a logistics specialist in the Sniper Sharpshooter Brigade. His service earned him a Wartime Veteran Medal, an Overseas Service Medal, a U.S. Army Commendation Medal, among other things. He also has several degrees, including a degree in engineering. After receiving an honorable discharge in 1992, he explored a wide range of careers. He worked as a chef. He worked as an artist. He worked as a fashion designer. He became an important figure in Georgia's tennis community. Christian said that her father helped her view tennis as a pathway to discipline and personal growth, a lesson she now passes on to her own children, his grandchildren. But everything changed after that ill-fated traffic stop on Saturday, that explained his daughter Christian and fiancée April, who drove 3 hours to and from to see him for a 1-hour visit yesterday. It was the second visit this month. Visiting for them is a considerable cost because they have him 3 hours away from home, along with the cost of calling, supplies for their hypertensive loved ones, and other supplies, has forced the family to set up a GoFundMe to manage the growing financial burdens. Wade said that he fears deportation, but he explained why he never pursued his U.S. citizenship. Of course, right here, a lot of people are like, fuck around foolishness, go on. You've been here since 1975 and you never pursued a U.S. citizenship. My question also is, how the hell did he get to serve 8 years in the Army without being a citizen? See, 2 years into my service, matter of fact, I was going on my 2nd year, and I got called in. And I'm like, damn, what did I do wrong? Because when they call you in, right, you're thinking you're in trouble for something. And they're like, relax, relax. Are you a U.S. citizen or are you a permanent resident? I said, I'm a permanent resident. So you have a green card? I said, yes, Sergeant, I have a green card. He said, well, you're going to be faced with, in the Army, they're pretty blunt, straight to the point. He said, you're going to be faced with a dilemma, soldier. You're going to have to either file for your U.S. citizenship, and because you're in already, it'll be expedited, which means you'll get it way faster than anybody else, or you're going to have to exit service. So I guess the rules changed for my generation of soldiers, but under times gone by, they were able to serve indefinitely just on a green card. Interesting. So that's how I ended up being like, okay, I'll get it. And I ended up getting mine. I was one of those two who used to say, me not get no American citizenship because you get it and next thing you know, them come take it from you and deport you anyway. But then as I got older, I realized that it was needed for more things than one, right? So for those of you out there also who've been here for the longest on your green card and you don't have any strikes on you, means you haven't been involved in anything that would prevent you from moving further, go ahead and get the citizenship. It's like one more layer of protection. It won't prevent you from anything, but is one more layer of protection. Trust me, one more layer of protection that you need, and you don't know you need it yet. So, he said things he witnessed during his service, he simply cannot even talk about them. He noted that, adding that he wants to remain in the country in order to remain with his family and his various professional community, family, and friends. Despite all of that, it is still a great nation, he said, although outlining his struggles at the facility with overcrowding, which he claims has a general disregard for human rights inside of the facility that he is at. It's just one day at a time, you know, man. Just one day at a time. There has been a lot of prayer, reading of my Bible, and I've been doing a lot of portraits and reading self-help books just to get myself to go, to go through this thing. He actually did an interview, allegedly, with the Jamaican Gleaner, and that's the interview that I'm reading right now. He said, there are also a lot of intimidation and coercion factors to this. They really try to intimidate you when you are here. Half the time it is about how they are going to separate you from your family, and it's just the worst of principles, knowing that you have not done anything, and they don't take account at all the civic things that you have done. Nobody cares you were in the army. Nobody cares you went to combat. Nobody cares about all that. They're like, man, you weren't born here. You were driving without a license, or your license was suspended. Get the fuck out of our country. Any little reason to kick you out. He said they have already begun to ask why he is not around. He's talking about, even though they have a law library in there and a regular library, it's not the easiest to get into, and it will take you days to get access to the libraries. He also said nothing that despite having relatives in Kingston, he fears leaving his grandchildren. Your relatives in Kingston better be close to you, or you're going to find out quickly if you get deported. Especially if you did there foreign for how many years and you wasn't helping to take care of them, or sending a thing every now and then and call and make sure everybody alright or anything. When you're landing at the place, friend, them are going to act like them don't know you either. Because when you did there foreign for 40 something years, you never act like you did know them. He said, my oldest daughter is 6 and she asked to come with us to visit him. This is his daughter. Okay, Wade's situation unfolded amid a broader national crackdown, right? We all know that. Since President Trump took back office, Jamaica has accepted 56 deportees from a group of approximately 2,500 that are slated for removal. Wade's family has retained an attorney to fight his case, but the path forward remains uncertain. So they said before that they have 5,000 Jamaicans that need to be up out of the country. Now they're saying they have 2,500 of them in custody already. Remember when I did the video and I said 5,000 Jamaicans they say need to be deported? Okay, good luck finding them, because I know most of them are going to run. They're going to go to another state. You know, they're going to go where the Jamaican community is, or probably be smart and not go where the Jamaican community is. They're going to try to evade. But ICE is going to become super aggressive also. So one way or another, good luck finding them. They've rounded up 2,500 now at this point that are slated for deportation. See, they don't just pick you up and deport you same time. Because once they pick you up, you still have to go through a system. But they just want you incarcerated so they know, boom, you're here. Now fight your way up out of this. And your chances are slim if you don't have the right things lined up and some money behind it or whatever else. More than likely, you're going to be deported anyways. So there are 2,500 Jamaicans in custody right now getting ready to be deported to Jamaica. But some of them, most of them are fighting to stay in the U.S. And that's what's keeping them here. He said it's been hard. She said it's been hard. Almost every weekend was spent with my dad. We typically play tennis together. My girls would come along and we lived 15 minutes away from him. We were close. We're a close family. I don't want his granddaughters to see him like that behind bars, like he's a criminal. None of us get to talk to him often, and to talk to him, it costs money. I've been trying to know that my dad has been locked up in inhumane circumstances. It's been trying to know that my dad's been locked up in inhumane circumstances, and that every day it's just a lot to deal with, she said. April said that his absence has been very difficult emotionally, and being down to one income to take care of the whole family, and traveling to see him takes a day for an hour, all that just for 1 hour visit. He's able to call when he has access to a phone. But there's been several phones there are only 7 phones in there, and the 7 phones must share for 80 people, and the 12 tablets must also share for 80 people, and that just does not work. The detention center is overcrowded, so people have to sleep on the floor, and said that not all of the toilets are working in there, so you must know what the conditions look like. So it has just been a very difficult time for all of us, she said. I am searching for his GoFundMe link so I can send people there. You know, if you want to drop $1 off, then please, by all means, do so. People need help. If you're feeling like helping, if not, you're not pressured to do so. But I thought I would bring this story to you just to bring my point home. Now, here's my closing point. My closing point is this. Don't get lulled and rocked to sleep by this false sense of security. You are an immigrant. You are in somebody's house. Yes, if you're in people's house, you abide by their house rules. If you came into my house and you came in without your shoes, even though I asked you to take your shoes off at the door, I would be pissed off and I would tell you to get the fuck out my house, leave. Because I asked you to take your shoes off at the door, you still came in with them. If you saw us in the living room sitting down and I invite you to sit in the living room on the couch with us, and you put your big dirty shoes that you weren't supposed to wear in the house on my centerpiece table, we're going to have some problems. If you are a guest in my house and you did not ask for something to drink, you just got up and went in my refrigerator when I never gave you permission to. You see what I'm saying here? I'm saying all that to say, when you're in other people's country, yes, you do what it is that you're supposed to do, everything by the books. And I mean, dotting all I's and crossing all T's. There's a woman right now who, she is in her 57, I think she is, pushing almost 60. And she actually got citizenship. But they found out that while she was a green card holder, she lied on her taxes and collected a couple $1,000s extra, and they used that to take away her citizenship and deported her recently. Now she's almost 60. You know what I mean? Imagine that one mistake or that one thing you thought would have never gotten caught. Like Sandra, you have 7 picnic man. Lend me one of them or put 2 of them on my income tax, and then you'll give you money. And then you've been doing that. And then only to find out that years later, this is a deportable offense and you're going back to your country if they catch you. Right now, they have people who this is their job. The Trump administration literally formed a group of people who this is their job. Their job is to comb backwards and to go back and look for any type of infraction, anything they might see. Was there any little lies or inconsistencies that were told in your story to get you to get to your status here? Was there anything out of place? And they're coming for you if there is. And we did a video on that, a thorough video on that. And it said, this is crazy because once you are accused, listen up, once you are accused, they can pick you up. ICE can go, you're fair game for ICE to pick you up and lock you up. And then you will have to prove yourself in court in order to be released. And if you're not able to, you'll be deported. It makes it 10 times harder if you're somebody, let's say for instance, you live in New York. but they move you all the way to a facility in Georgia. Do you know how far it is from New York to Georgia? And now you're out of touch with your family because they can't come visit. Your spirit's deteriorating because you haven't seen your family in how many days. You're not sure if you're going to come out of here. And you don't have the financial wherewithal to hire a good attorney to defend you. This is where most people end up losing their case. The report also said most people are just simply broken spiritually under these conditions. So they just opt to, listen, I'm not even fighting this anymore. Just send me home. I'll close this video by saying this. I fly this Jamaican flag everywhere I go because even when I'm flying my American flag, if you notice over here, you will see half American, half Jamaican, right? In this flag right here. See it? And I fly it like that to always remind myself that as much as I'm so in love with the United States of America and I'm such a upstanding citizen and I haven't done anything wrong and I don't plan on doing anything wrong, there's always this paranoid feeling, though, of something could go wrong. So I don't put all my eggs in one basket. I make sure that if the shit hits the fan, like we say in the military, or if it comes down to that, then I won't be one of them crying and begging and saying, please don't, and save me, and my family is falling apart. Put things in place so that you'll be okay. I know everybody ain't got it like that, but those who have it like that because we've been planning for years now, thinking anything happened to others could also happen to me. Don't throw a stone behind you, my friend. Don't throw no stone behind you. Yard a yard. That's the only place in the world them can deport you from. That's my final message. Let me say it again. Yard a yard. That is the only place in the world them can deport you from. Andrew them can deport you. Nobody can deport you out of Jamaica. That would be your final stop. Alright? Alright. Have a wonderful day. Like I always say when ending these videos, my granny Miss Ruby said be careful, be good. If you can't be good, be careful. And my grandfather Mas Clevey said, I will see you tomorrow. If God spare life. Walk good. Understand that you are not God. So you are not in control of everything. And no matter how much money you have and how much fame you have and how big you think you are, you can't bring tomorrow and give it to anybody else. You can't even do that for yourself. You have to hope and pray that you are in the mercy and graces of the Most High to be able to see tomorrow. And if you are, then we'll meet again tomorrow. Alright? Walk good. I'm out. Peace.